Alright, so I just got done watching the two videos, one by Hans Rosling. Again, he's quite the interesting character. He keeps popping up on TED Talks. And then the other one was by Cheryl. I'm going to slaughter the name Wu Doon. Both of them talking about the different inequalities and stuff like that are faced by women in today's world. I don't know. I thought that they were both really pretty interesting. I probably should have taken down some notes, actual specific notes of what really stuck out to me. The first talk I taught, or the first lecture I watched, was by Cheryl. One of the things that she really focused on was like the steps we need to take to get women more equality in today's world. I guess one of the ones that really stuck out to me was education, and that was actually kind of one of the more stronger of the points that she kind of argued. I felt, anyways. It was interesting that the different situations she gave, where when the women became educated, that's when they were actually really to kind of not only take themselves out of either poverty or out of any equal opportunities, but also their community. The first story she started off with was the girl that she went to school, and from that came the opportunities where even her city got a road put into it that kind of connected it to main China, and which was able to kind of then from there progress. And then one of the latter examples, the woman from, or the, I guess, young woman from Africa, or is that where she was from, that got the donation. Her family got the donation. Am I getting my stories confused? I might be. Of the two goats, or they were able to get goats, and then from there they were able to actually kind of make a profit. I'm getting my stories confused. The Chinese one was the donation one. The first one I just talked about was the donation, where the school was able to keep her in there and get scholarships and stuff like that for the girls. Then the African was the goats. Anyways, her family was given some goats, and then from there they were actually able to turn a profit and keep her in school. Found out that she did remarkably well in school, top of her class, and ended up getting a scholarship. I feel like I'm getting stuff confused. Anyways, main point was that the education kind of flipped it around, because once they were able to go to school, they were able to progress and help themselves. The second talk or lecture by Hans was the one I watched. That was interesting. I'm kind of still having troubles figuring out how the electricity and the use and everything tie in with equality, except for there at the end where he kind of tied it together with like the books and things like that, which kind of linked it back to education, where these time-saving devices like the washing machine make it so that wives and mothers and just women in general, because in most of the world are the ones doing things like the laundry and other time-consuming things that around the house. These machines and stuff like that can save them time, which then gives them opportunity to do other things. He's talked about how his mom learned English by reading a book when she wasn't doing laundry because the washing machine was doing it. And so, I don't know, one of my key things, one of my personal beliefs, is that education is key. Whether you're talking about equality among genders, equality among races, equality among socioeconomic classes, I definitely am a firm believer that education is one of those key points, because education is what can take a person to the next level. It's very hard to progress if you don't know kind of where you're going and what you're doing. I know in my other class we've talked about, and I even wrote a little paper on the importance of education and finding equality. The thing is, when women are empowered and women reach that inequality, I think a lot of times us men are fearful that we're going to lose power, or that we're not going to benefit. Cheryl kind of addressed that. And really, if you think about women progressing, it really does benefit all. It she spoke specifically on putting them in like the professional workplace. Um, yeah, competition, it creates competition, sure, but competition is good. That's a main driving force in people doing their best. Um, it also creates more opportunities for other businesses. He talked about the woman that started her embroidering business, and then got her husband involved. He did the packing and shipping, um, and how at first he was looking to find another woman to have a wife, or sorry, not to have a wife, to have a son because she was having only daughters. Um, but as soon as they both got involved in this, um, the mother was empowered, father was empowered. Both did eventually ended up doing very well for themselves. Um, I wouldn't feel that he lost power. I wouldn't feel that he felt that he wasn't in control. Um, this he and his wife and their family did much better for themselves when the wife was empowered and given that privilege and opportunity to progress and do better. Um, so I don't know. I guess my opinion is that we've kind of created this society where, I mean, it's getting better too, also in the United States, but especially in other parts of the world where women are not given equal opportunity, um, even if they are given, we'll say the same rights, uh, just the opportunity is not there. And so even if they were to have that education, or if they were to have the capabilities to work, if they're not giving that opportunity, it doesn't benefit them at all. Uh, we not only have to give them education and give them power, give them more equality, but we have to give them those same opportunities that we all have, and then we're all to benefit from it. We're going to be thriving better. I think more people will come together instead of driven apart, like I think we often think will happen. I think too often we kind of view ourselves as men and women, and we're completely separate. I like the part where Bill Gates was in Saudi Arabia. Cheryl talked about this. Was in Saudi Arabia, and the men and the women were divided, and they wanted to become in the top 10 of the world for technology. And Bill Gates just said to them, they never will if they're not using all of their resources. Kind of implying specifically that women are a valuable asset in order to really develop and progress in today's society. So I found that pretty interesting. I definitely think that we shouldn't fear women's equality. We shouldn't fear gender equality in the world, but we definitely should actually strive for it.